Today the BB team is in District 3. We're here at Tiong Bahru Estate at Kim Tian Green.
I'm going to bring you to this 4-room that is sitting on a high floor, unblocked view that overlooks towards the city centre at a size of 1,001 square feet with an attractive price point of $950,000.
We're located in a mature estate with a ton of amenities, and we're within a 10-minute drive towards the CBD as well as the town centre.
Want to join the team and I along this beautiful home tour? Let's go!
Let's go!
Alright, so coming back to this unit, we are standing at 93 square meter or
1,001 square feet.
Your living and dining, they are all very squarish in nature. Bomb shelter is tucked towards the kitchen area where you have a regular kitchen as well as a yard, and then all the other 3 bedrooms are all tucked along the corridor way with 2 bathrooms. So where we are standing is the living as well as the dining, which is extremely regular in terms of the shape and dimension. Just right over here, this is where you have your 4-seater.
Currently it's fitted with a 4-seater, but you can go up to a 6-seater by changing the orientation of the table.
In terms of the living as well as the dining, I think they are being adjacent to one another, so this also frees up the space right here on the living hall. This is currently fitted with 3+1
and armchair.
If let's say you wish to expand the space, you want to have an L-shaped couch over here, this is absolutely doable. You have a good distance from wall to wall, from the TV console to the couch area, and of course this is again fronting towards the unblocked view that we are talking about earlier on.
And we have a northeast orientation where you don't get any west sun exposure.
Yeah, so if you open up the window, I think you get a lot of crosswind ventilation for this entire unit, especially when we are sitting on a high floor.
Yeah.
Kitchen is tucked towards this corner, so you don't have any odd shape that's jutting out. Kitchen-wise, I would say it is extremely regular in terms of the shape and size. This is what we call the U-shaped
countertop.
Yeah, and I think U-shaped countertop is extremely convenient. To know whether the kitchen is actually having the best configuration is to have this triangle configuration where you have the fridge, the sink, as well as the cooker that you can place right behind us. If let's say you wish to do up some renovation, you can still do so. This is actually a solid surface. You can just polish this up. Otherwise, you can just do a renovation, making use of this current squarish configuration to do up to your own liking. But otherwise, right now you have all these combination of cabinets and pull-out drawers, double sink with ample countertop space for your meal preps, and your home shelter is tucked neatly towards here to store away all your clutters. And just right behind here, this is where you have your yard.
Service yard, yes. Your service yard is a great space to hang dry your laundry after a wash because we're actually northwest facing, where you get the northern wind and a little bit of the western sun to dry your clothes. Over here, you have provisions to place in your washer and dryer, and also do up some storage cabinets on the side.
Now when we talk about the cluster right here in Kim Tian, predominantly you have 2 different facing. One is either facing towards the city skyline. This is also the area where you are fronting towards the northeastern exposure, or otherwise towards the other facing.
Over on the other direction is where you are fronting towards Avenue South residences, and that is also where you get pockets of sea view, and you also have a little bit of the western sun exposure.
So I think in terms of the orientation or the facing is largely dependent on your choices. If let's say you're someone that really prefers to have the sea view facing, naturally you need to be on a higher ground, but of course there will also be accompanied with some western sun exposure. But otherwise, if you are someone that prefers to have the city skyline, then I think this will be the ideal step that you should be looking for.
So this is not your typical kind of 4-room unit that we're in today.
Yep.
This actually gives you a very, very nice unblocked view of the Tiong Bahru Estate as well as the CBD skyline.
We are actually right on District 3. Just right behind us, that is CBD, and you can actually have a glimpse of the Marina Bay Sands.
We are only about a 10-minute drive away to the CBD as well as the Orchard Shopping belt.
Now when we talk about being in the Tiong Bahru area, I think a lot of people will love this area due to the fact that you are being very close to the Tiong Bahru market, which is just right down below. I think that's just about 5 to 10 minutes walk away. That is where you can find a host of amenities, food options, restaurants, hipsters cafe. I think that is all within walking distance to where we are. And that's also the reason why people love to stay within the
Kim Tian area. And for those of you that drive, we are also located near the expressways, and for public transportation options, we are also within a 10-minute walk towards Tiong Bahru MRT station. And for family with school-going kids, within 1 kilometer, 3 primary schools, which are CHIJ Kellock, Zhangde Primary and Radin Primary.
And actually when we talk about the clusters at Tiong Bahru MRT station itself, this will immediately present a price disparity because price over there is crossing the $1 million mark, and the price disparity that we are seeing today in terms of the asking price is hovering between 50 to 80,000. The choice is pretty much yours. If let's say you're really someone that drive, you might want to consider this area, but otherwise for the convenience, you can either have a short walk away to the MRT station or you can choose towards a cluster at Tiong. Predominantly, most of the HDB classes in Tiong Bahru area, they are averaging between the age of about 50 odd years to 90 odd years. Majority of the 4 rooms right over here, in terms of the size, they are all below the 1,000 square feet mark, with some of the size averaging between 930 over square feet to 970 over square feet. You also realize that Tiong Bahru have various different clusters. Just right adjacent to the Tiong Bahru MRT station, there is where you have
the Boon Tiong cluster over there.
As we move down, that's where you have the
Jalan Membina.
Yeah, and then of course right over here, this is where you have Kim Tian. If let's say you're someone that really prefers to be within close proximity to the MRT station, then naturally you will want to move towards the
Boon Tiong area. Yeah.
For the Boon Tiong area, you can split into 2 different clusters. One is the newest cluster, currently balanced list of about 90 over years, and then the other cluster, which is having the unblocked view that we are talking about, they are currently having a balance list of 81 years. In terms of the price point, the newer cluster being on a high floor, they are already crossing
the $1 million mark.
They are averaging the size of about
936.
Yeah, so they tend to be slightly smaller, but because they are newer, just right beside the MRT station, in terms of the price point, they're
already hitting the $1 million mark.
Of course, if you move towards the next cluster, size is slightly bigger, but average price is hovering about $900,000. As you move down towards Jalan Membina, currently at about 70 odd years, so those are slightly older, pretty much close to where we are located at. For our unit right here, size-wise, we are at
1,001 square feet, asking at a price point of $950,000. We think it's something that you can consider. And on the other hand, if you're someone who's looking for newly MOP'd clusters, we have City View at Henderson.
And for the clusters right over there, in terms of the 4 room, if you're going for a high floor, that is crossing in excess of $1 million. Of course, if let's say you're someone that wish to go for the BTO routes, naturally the clusters right over here, being close to the city center, also means that you will be falling under the PLH model, which means that your holding period will have to be at least 10 years. You have 2 clusters right over here, which is Alexandra Vale, just right beside the Redhill MRT station, or Bukit Merah Ridge, which is just right in between Redhill as well as Tiong Bahru. These 2 clusters will then TOP towards 2028, and by the time you can hit the resale market, that will then be towards 2038. So if you want to have something that is of a shorter waiting time, healthy balance list, then I think this is probably a cluster that you might want to consider. And we hope that gives you a quick summary as well as an overview in terms of the pricing, the different clusters right here in Tiong Bahru. But in the meantime, let's check out the bedrooms.
So over here at your common bathroom, what you have is your sink, your WC and your standing shower already done up. And you also have your vanity cabinets and mirrors already done up.
Yep, so this is located just right opposite the very first bedroom. This is extremely generous in terms of the size. This is currently fitted with queen size, 4 panels of wardrobes that are being done up. Shelvings are already being allocated for the recessed portion. Otherwise, you get an extremely spacious and regular room. Size-wise, I think this is probably the size of
new BTO master bedroom nowadays.
Yeah, that we see in today's context. So this is the kind of size that you'll be getting for the 4 room right here in Kim Tian. For the second bedroom, it is identical in terms of the shape and size. And this is currently being used as like a study
work from home office. Study table carpentries have already been done up. You also have top storage area as well as 4 panels of wardrobe installed already. So if you want to turn this back up into a bedroom, you can easily do so as well.
And all the bedrooms are fronting towards the unblocked view that we are talking about. There's no western sun. And let's check out the master
bedroom.
Master bedroom is extremely generous in terms of the size. You have your master ensuite with your shower area already glassed up with your vanity cabinets, your basin as well as your WC. Comes with ventilation window. And as we move in, this is where you have 4 panels of wardrobe. Let's check out the gap that we have from the bed to the wardrobe. You see you have comfortable space for you to move around.
And you also have a small study table or a vanity table already installed. And currently the master bedroom is fitted with a queen size bed, but ample of space to go up to a king size bed and still have ample of space to walk around.
Let's say you wish to do up, a small mini TV console right over here, you can still do so. So I think space-wise is pretty much up to your own configuration. If you wish to open up the space towards the common bedroom just to expand into your walk-in wardrobe, all these are definitely within reach and definitely possible. And if let's say today you're considering, hey, whether should I be buying into this 4-room flat and an asking price of $950,000, we're going to break it down for you. Assuming both you and your partner, age 35, having a combined income of about $14,000, let us take a look in terms of the grants that you might be eligible for.
So we have the family grant of $50,000, and if you are staying within 4 kilometers of your parents, you can then get additional $20,000 in terms of grants.
So in total, the eligible grants will then be about $70,000, and assuming both of your CPF OA account is currently standing at about $200,000, and factoring in the buyer's stamp duty of 3%. This makes your entire purchase price to be about $973,000, less of $270,000 in terms of your grants as well as your OA. This brings your loan amount to be at about $700,000. And if you were to take a HDB loan, which is currently at a very attractive interest rate of 2.6%, spreading over 25 years, your monthly mortgage would be at about $3,000, and if you were to less off your CPF OA contribution on a monthly basis.
And in terms of your cash outlay, that will bring it up to be about $400 per month. And we think that's extremely affordable if you're looking to stay somewhere so close towards the city centre.
Yep. So if let's say you wish to use this as kind of like a pivot home, you can still do so after you fulfill the 5 years MOP period. You can potentially use this to go into the full rental mode. In terms of the rental, you do not have a shortage in terms of the tenants pool, especially when you're right smack in the city centre.
And right next to Singapore General Hospital.
And that will also potentially be forming part of a tenants pool in terms of the staff that is working at the hospital area itself. And if you zoom out a little bit, we are also very close towards Greater Southern Waterfront, because we are just about 10 minutes drive away towards Southern Waterfront area, where you have the Vivo City as well as what is going to be shaping up in the next 10 years, especially when this unit is currently having a balance lease of 89 years for you to stay, enjoy the amenities right over here, and then potentially turn this into a full rental play.
So we've come to the end of our home tour, and just to recap, we are 4-room units standing at 1,001 square feet, high floor with an unblocked view.
Going at a very attractive price point of $950,000 with a very healthy balance lease of 89 years, smack right within walking distance to a loads of amenities. And if you like what you see, do get in touch with our listing team. The contact details are down below.
Do remember to hit like and subscribe buttons on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok channels for more content. My name is Tabitha.
George Ping,
bleubricks by PropertyLimBrothers, always happy to show you the place. Okay.
Yeah, so
you don't keep like that lah.
So we move around freely.
He cannot stand still one. And you also have